Is it moving?
No, it's a power failure.
I know. Okay, I just felt like putting it into words.
Really? Lady, you're not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer.
That's Sergeant Jenner to you. Or ma'am. I've already told you so.
Sorry, it's just that you're kind of old.
I'm only... Anyway, if the conveyor belt isn't moving, we can walk on it, right?
Great. You've recreated a scene.
I can't remember.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick, and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards.
Previously on Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel.
All of you, took away my family.
I'll look after Jimmy. You head for Metal Gear, Snake.
You cowards betrayed us. Viper, he lost his left arm in that hell.
Next time, you die.
Metal Gear has already gone nuclear. The missile hasn't reached the target yet, but millions of lives will be lost. You failed, and I'll make sure you're held responsible for this fiasco.
Snake, the warhead launched by Metal Gear just impacted on mainland US.
Casualties?
None.
What?
It was a fake. The coordinates were set to an unpopulated area, a nuclear testing site in Nevada.
What kind of a sick?
All the same, there's a huge crater at the site. We need to get a cover story to the press. Metal Gear's existence cannot be made public.
That appears to be the CIA's forte, after all.
Certainly, but it won't be easy. Constructing a plausible denial for the masses requires preparations.
Snake, GLF transmitted a message to the American president just after the impact. I'm sending it to you as well.
Hello, Mr. President. Did you like my present? I'm sure you did. It is, after all, made in the USA. No doubt you know the gist of my message. Withdraw the UN troops from Canada immediately and recognize our sovereignty. With US backing, the motion will face no delays at the UN Security Council. You can save face and millions of lives. Voting lives. Not a bad deal, I think. But I'll set a deadline, just to save you the procrastinating as well. 3 hours. If our demands are not met within 3 hours, a real nuclear warhead will be launched. The target will be New York City, or Los Angeles, or perhaps Washington, D.C. We'll see how I feel at the time. I expect glad tidings soon.
Of course, the US government will make no concessions.
Certainly not. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
But we can't get to Metal Gear.
You may not look it, but Jimmy did head the unit's development. You may know how to stop the strike.
Get him on the codec.
Chris.
What? Snake?
Is Jimmy there?
He is, but
Put him on.
Oh, okay.
What?
Jimmy, how do we prevent Metal Gear from launching?
Well, like I said before, the real gun uses a lot of power. So,
With no power, the gun is useless.
yeah.
Snake, you can destroy that power plant.
Yeah, but what about Metal Gear's... Jeez!
What is it? What's going on? Jimmy, Chris, respond.
What's happening over there?
I don't know. But I heard gunshots.
Were they attacked?
You have to help them.
No, the power plant has to be destroyed first.
Mr. McBride.
They're about to strike. Millions of civilian American lives are at risk. Snake, your mission is to destroy Metal Gear. Don't let your emotion lead you astray. Every operation has its casualties.
Snake.
What's it going to be?
I'm going for the plant.
Snake.
But I'm not abandoning Chris and Jimmy. First, the plant, then I'll find them. I don't allow casualties.
Snake.
God, you're soft. It's a wonder you managed to live so long.
Don't forget, preventing the nuclear strike is your first priority.
Grow, Snake. Take out the power plant and stop the launch.
Gindra achieved independence after World War II. The Brazzaville Convention of 1944, under de Gaulle's Third Republic, set the colonies on the road to independence. Inequalities such as the lack of right to French citizenship were later removed by the Overseas Territory Law, and Gindra achieved full independence in 1962.
Snake, I'm also concerned about Sergeant Jenner and Dr. Harks. But right now, you need to head for the power plant. Go west to get to the plant.
Chris, is that you?
Snake.
Mei Ling?
Are you that concerned about Chris?
Ugh.
Nothing. I'm sorry.
Snake, take the power plant out. Set C4 explosives on 4 key points to destroy the structure. Snake, destroy the power plant's main turbine. It's located in the B1 floor of the plant. Break into the B1 floor.
The power plant's main turbine is on floor B1. Use the elevator to get down there.
Snake, can you hear me?
Chris, what happened back there?
They took us by surprise.
What about Jimmy? Is he okay? Chris?
Jimmy was captured.
What?
I saw a chance and ran, but Jimmy...
Chris.
Just myself. Again.
Chris, don't blame yourself.
But...
Better that you're safe than neither of you.
I'm so useless. I was supposed to have protected him.
Chris.
I wish I were the one taken. I can't do anything right.
Chris, you were in the power plant, weren't you?
What? Oh, yes.
Tell me how I get in.
Sections of the floor area are electrified and can't be crossed. But there is a control panel for the floor's electrical grid. If you take that out, you should have no problems getting through. As long as you use some weapon with a long range, like the Nikita missiles.
Got it. Use Nikita missiles to go after the power array. You've been in the plant once. I'd like you to give me backup with what you know.
But...
I could use your help. They need to keep Metal Gear at operational state, so they can't afford to kill Jimmy yet. I'll get him out before they can.
Snake.
I'm asking you to trust me.
Okay, anything you need to know about the plant, just ask. Snake. Thank you.
Amir tout relieviu.
Hallelujah! And I never get to dry off!
D'ici ça enough à messe. What happened?
It looks like the drainage duct got choked off somewhere during that squall. We've got drainage water backing up into the plant.
Hey, that doesn't sound too good.
They say there's no problem with generating power itself.
Not exactly impressive in a high-tech installation controlled by a state-of-the-art computer system.
Well, as long as the cells get charged. Everything's doing fine. It's all yours.
Merci.
And though electricity's leaked into the some of the puddles. It looks like regular water. But make sure you stay away from it. Wouldn't want you getting hurt.
Mon Dieu.
those computers lined up there. It's a fairly complex room structure, but you can get through the narrow points as long as you flatten yourself along the walls.
I see. So Dr. Harks was... But at least we have Sergeant Jenner with us. For now, just concentrate on how to stop Metal Gear. The railgun requires a large amount of electric power. We need to disable the main turbine and the power plant to prevent Metal Gear from proceeding with that nuclear strike. The main turbine should be on B1.
The General is the Commander-in-Chief of the Gindra Liberation Front, aka GLF, an armed group advocating independence for the Boyas, an ethnic minority within Gindra. His true name is Augustine Egwaban, and he appeared out of nowhere 5 years ago to take control of GLF and turn the weakened group into a potently militarized organization. He seems not to be content with mere independence, but has also been declaring that he will effect the withdrawal of Western forces and the liberation of Gindra from First World exploitation. His charisma is undeniable, and he has a devoted following. He's a political nightmare. The woman standing beside the General is GLF's second-in-command, Sophie Endrum. She was born to a French father and Gindran mother. Well-educated, enrolled at Cambridge at one point. There are also rumors that she and the General are lovers. In addition to acting as an advisor to the General, she's also been seen in combat, doing everything from driving tanks and flying choppers to firing some very big guns. A real Joan of Arc. The Gindran economy is supported by the export of natural resources such as diamonds, gold, and rare metals. Diamonds in particular make up 40% of the total export revenues, and over 600,000 carats are processed each year. But basic necessities of life, such as foodstuffs and machinery, need to be imported because of the lack of domestic production infrastructure. Foreign capital has steadily decreased with the fall of the dollar. National debt is ballooning, and IMF is still making ongoing structural adjustments. Because of high ambient temperatures, Gindran businesses and stores start the day around 7:30 a.m. Schools and banks close around 12:30 p.m. And people usually take siestas from around 1,200 to 1,500 hours. Most stores reopen around 1,530 hours and wind things up around 1,900 hours. If you plan to shop in the towns, keep that in mind. If you need to pick up souvenirs, try ivory and wooden objects and exotic butterfly samples. Make sure you're not in violation of the Washington Convention of Endangered Species. You can purchase from regular stores and street vendors, but keep in mind that the quoted price assumes negotiation. You're expected to haggle
Jimmy was supposed to be safe with me.
Chris, there are times when you can't do anything else.
This wasn't one of them. I abandoned Jimmy. If I'd really tried to save him, I might have been able to. I'm cold-blooded, always thinking only about myself. Maybe I'm just like my father.
Your father?
He chose to leave my mother and me for another woman. After he divorced her, my mother decided to drown her sorrows in alcohol and men. It wasn't unusual for me to get up in the morning and see yet another strange man in the house. Do you know how that made me feel? I was only 12. I learned to hate.
Your father?
No, the other woman.
Yeah.
My mother and I, we both tried to hate him. We thought we did, but we couldn't. The mess my mother made of her life afterwards, it always seemed to me like she did it to hurt herself. On purpose. So that she could draw his attention. But of course he never even noticed. I'm sorry, it's not the kind of thing I should have told you.
Why did you?
I don't know, just came out, I guess? That's wrong, isn't it? Snake, there's no trace of Jimmy anywhere.
Damn.
Hey, can I ask you something?
What?
Why Alaska?
A life alone in the wilds has the advantage of keeping visitors at bay.
You don't get lonely?
No, I've never felt that.
Really?
Really. But it felt like I was waiting for some reason to go back to the world.
That's what loneliness is.
Maybe you're right. To not even have the courage to step outside the door. Unless something drags me out. I'm a coward.
We're all like that. It isn't just you.
Got yourself some body armor, eh? That should cut down on the damage. The body armor uses special advanced molecular fibers that work to minimize gunshot damage. By absorbing and dispersing the bullet's kinetic energy. But any body armor is a defensive aid at the very best. Even if it stops around, you could still end up with broken ribs. Don't get too cocky. So you picked up a landmine detector. When you're equipped with that, you'll be able to find landmines even through the stealth camouflage. The location of each mine will show up on the radar, and you can retrieve them while you crawl. That mine detector isn't just another application of the metal detector. It's a new type of landmine sweeper that locates mines by emitting radio frequency signal in a technology called NQR. There's no question of mistaking scrap metal or tin cans with mines with this approach. Or of overlooking plastic mine units. The detector also works on landmines equipped with stealth camouflage. So you're carrying Nikita missiles. Small missiles fitted with remote guidance system. There's nothing like these for scouting or covert attacks. With these, you can control their movement while the feed from the CCD cameras fitted on the missile nose cone. The only drawback is that you need to remain stationary during that time. UAV technology has been evolving at an unbelievable rate lately. Word is that micro-UAV technology was applied in developing those Nikita missiles. I hear they're talking about completely unmanned fighter planes now. But will always be needed no matter how far technology goes. Our lives are what war feeds on. That landmine is a new model designed as both anti-personnel and anti-tank mine. It has a stealth camouflage functionality that activates when the mine is placed on the ground, rendering it invisible. Landmines are passive reactive weapons designed to indirectly attack the enemy. You'd better think about where and how you're going to place them to get any results. Lay them so that enemies charging into a minefield go in easily and deeply and find that they can't get out so easily. Another effective way is to plant them in a narrow path frequently used by the enemy. But a landmine doesn't discriminate between friend or foe. Don't fall into the trap you've set yourself. A laid mine can be recovered from a crawl. Normally, clearing a minefield by hand requires 2 to a team. The actual recovery personnel, and a flank observer. They proceed about 10 meters apart on a parallel course, but you'll have to do it alone. Concentrate on the landmine, but keep track of what's going on around you too. If you have a mine detector handy, it'll show you on the radar where landmines are set.
The radar doesn't work in small spaces like the one you're in right now. Sorry.
Save.
Save completed.
Machinery and medication are all imports in Gindra for the most part, and expensive for that reason. You would be better off bringing those items with you. Since Gindra isn't on the coast, all fish are high-priced imports. Freshwater fish are available, but make sure you cook them well first to get rid of parasites.
computer room. It's a tight squeeze, but you should be able to get through if you flatten yourself against the wall. You don't need to go on a diet, do you?
discovered in the late 19th century by French explorers and became a French territory. Even back then, the repeated outbreaks of violence resulting from forced labor in farms run by French businesses made Gindra a frequent topic of discussion in the legislature.
A flamethrower?
Beautiful, isn't it? I use specially blended fuel. My flames burn more purely and more fiercely than any other.
Are you in Black Chamber too?
I am Pyro Bison. This is our last day in your shadow.
Shadow?
Yes, but you wouldn't know, would you? How much blood was shed to purchase your glory? Snake, you're no legend. You're a sinner. And you will make your reparations now. The price for your sins is your life. Every human being burns differently. Did you know that? The way the skin scorches, the fat burns, the innards jar. Changes from person to person, and you see they're the burdens of their sin. I wonder how you'll burn. I'll know soon enough. Burn.
Snake, watch out for that flamethrower of his. It looks like he's wearing customized body armor. A frontal assault is probably not going to get you anywhere. Go for the fuel tank on his back instead. Use the Nikita missiles.
Pyro Bison. You won't find anyone else in a war zone with a flamethrower. But he's obsessed with his, even when all the rest of us have a machine gun or a grenade in hand. But I have to admit, his flamethrower packs some power. Don't ever get in front of him. Go around and hit him from the back. He wears a custom bodysuit made of flame-proof material lined with ceramic plating. You'll get nowhere with a frontal assault. Go for his back. his flamethrower, the fuel tank on his back, the bodysuit. Added up, they can't weigh any less than around 300 pounds. But winning battles isn't about muscle mass. Keep moving fast and take him down.
His flamethrower is a menace, but you can handle it. Don't forget what you're here for.
Snake, watch out for the fire.
Snake,
Save.
save completed. Hang in there.
Rank. Terrible.
Snake.
I know that I'm a sinner without you having to tell me. But why Shadow?
All right. You learn what your sins really are. The Black Chamber was formed in the shadow of Foxhound.
Go on.
7 years ago, you destroyed Metal Gear here in Outer Heaven. And put Foxhound in the headlines. Everyone in the world knew the name Solid Snake. And so, you became the legend. But Foxhound got to famous. Since Outer Heaven, its every move was watched by intelligence organizations everywhere. Truly covert operations became impossible. So Black Chamber was created. We took over every covert ops that had been Foxhounds. Assassination of anti-American foreign leaders. Removal of domestic civilians engaged in anti-establishment activities. Intervention in strifes and civil wars that affect American interests. Doing the dirty work in the dark, on and on, in the shadow of the great legend.
I never wanted to be called the legend.
Liar, ask yourself why you volunteered for difficult missions, why you're here right now. You killed 83 people here already. Of course you want to be the legend. Deep inside, you want the glory. And you keep killing for it. Because it's the only thing you're good at. I've got more good news for you, my pathetic friend. There's one of us among your trusted rank.
What?
Didn't you think it was strange that we knew about you coming? That we were waiting for you every step of the way?
But
when you were talking to each other, you were talking to us.
But that's not possible.
Yes, Snake, suspect. Suspect everything, everyone. And die without knowing. Your doubts and suffering, your hatred, is the best tribute to my fallen comrades. Two years since the trap closed. Only 5 of us left. The rest of Black Chamber dead at traitors' hands.
5?
This is planned payback. To Foxhound to you. To Anonymous. GLF are just pawns in our greater scheme. Viper will take care of the rest. I can die in peace. But I don't need your help. Fire, gentle fire. It cleanses all things alike. It is the great equalizer of both the sinful and the innocent. That's where I'll die, in the heart of the fire. The heat. This is what I've been looking for. I'm burning. Oh God, yes.
Colonel.
I heard, Snake. Don't let the enemy get to you. There's no way a spy could be among us.
Wanna bet?
What did you say?
There are too many weird things about this mission, including this committee.
What the hell are you saying?
Take you, for example. Why is the CIA butting into an army operation? And you're a little too full of advice, eh?
Weasel, stop this.
You can get it too, Campbell. Aren't you retired? What the hell are you doing here?
That's because...
And you know something about Black Chamber that you're not telling us. Am I right? Cat got your tongue? Right to remain silent, eh?
Stop it.
Hey, sweetheart, you're no exception. I don't care what kind of hotshot techie you are. A grad student on a classified mission? That's weird.
You.
Well, are you any better?
What did you mean?
You think I don't know? 5 years ago in that war? Your own brother and...
What's it to you?
I'm just saying that you can't be trusted.
Good. It's no compliment to have your trust.
Enough of this. There is no spy. This is an enemy tactic to confuse and divide us. Snake, just think about preventing that nuclear strike. Take out the power plant. Snake, you have to trust me.
I'd like to.
Communicator Entertainment Program. IdeaSpy 2.5. Episode 8.
In the previous episode,
Our heroes 2.5 and Call accidentally fall asleep in the factory research lab of the JE Corporation. The Catalog of Conspiracy. Where is the elusive D-People EO? Find humanoid robot for the home. And has it already been completed? Stay on the scent 2.5.
There's a restricted elevator in the corner of the factory. Regular employees aren't allowed to use it, but it could lead to the production plant for D-People EO.
All right, Call, let's get to that elevator.
That's it, 2.5. This elevator.
There's a button for the basement floor. We'll go that way. What the?
It says 1 passenger only. We'll have to go one at a time.
What? Are you overweight or something?
Oh, really? I'll go first, 2.5. You follow me on the next ride.
All right, we'll meet downstairs.
Is it all right to let her go by herself?
714. She's a graduate of IdeaSpy Academy, too. She'll be okay.
Is not what I meant. Isn't it possible that she could betray us?
What?
She said she had a grudge against you, right? It isn't such an unlikely idea.
That's crazy. We used to look at catalogs together, for heaven's sake.
What's that supposed to prove? Anyway, don't be a sap too.
The elevator's back. I'm getting on.
Watch yourself.
It's a pretty long descent.
To listen. Till you start to hurt swallow. That'll help a little.
You're right, my ear is just cleared. I owe you one, 714.
Don't worry about it.
No, you're always helping me out with highly illuminating hints. You're more useful than any infomercial products.
It doesn't feel like a compliment.
Don't be so humble. I'm here. Huge, mostly empty space.
Is it a factory?
Looks like it could be a warehouse. But, where's Call?
She's not there.
I don't see her.
So she isn't.
No way. Wow.
You all right?
I'm not hit. A machine gun. Where are they firing from? I can't see it.
The buck stops here, 2.5.
Wow.
To be continued.
next time on Metal Gear Solid Ghost Babel. Big Boss just plays the Puyan mission for the entire episode.
I'm pretty good.